recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary King, welcome to the committee. I'd like to return to the supplement, not supplant conversation. In 2011, the department issued a policy brief and a report analyzing the compliance costs of the comparability requirement for per pupil expenditures for Title I schools, a proposal that's analogous to the department's draft regulations. Assuming you have more recent data, could you please provide us the estimated cost in state and local dollars of compliance with the proposal put forth by the department during negotiated rulemaking?
Well, I would make a distinction in the way that the question was framed between comparability and supplement, not supplant. Comparability addresses the issue of services. Supplement, not supplant, addresses the issue of the allocation of state and local funding. The proposal that was discussed in negotiated rulemaking and adjusted throughout the negotiated rulemaking would require states to comply with the supplement, districts to comply with the supplement, not supplant provision of the law. The process that districts would use to do that would be determined by the districts, and so there is not a single number that can be estimated today for that proposal. But as I say, the proposal was adjusted throughout the negotiated rulemaking, and we will continue to adjust that proposal based on the input and feedback we have received since then.
Well, how can the department put forward a regulatory proposal without understanding the financial impact, and how can the Congress and the public be expected to evaluate its wisdom without such information?
Well, the requirement in the statute is that the federal dollars be used in a way that is supplemental. In fact, the very language, supplement, not supplant, is intended to separate the issue of the use of federal funds from the issue of state and local funds. It's to say state and local funds should be allocated in a way that is equitable, and then the federal funds should be supplemental.
Well, the Center for American Progress reported last year the nationwide compliance cost for proposals similar to yours would be $8.5 billion. Do you think that's a reasonable estimate?
Again, the design of the proposal was to implement the requirement in the statute that the federal dollars be used in a way that is supplemental. Districts have a responsibility to ensure that they are not using those federal dollars to backfill state and local funds. To the extent that districts are today using federal dollars to backfill state and local funds, that is not consistent with the very words supplement, not supplant.
Let me now focus on how school districts would comply with your proposal. The department's 2011 report indicates some of the nation's largest school districts could have to increase spending by anywhere from less than 1% to as much as 20%. Please tell the committee specifically how a school district unable to increase spending by these amounts could comply with your proposal.
Again, the frame of the question suggests that districts today are using the federal dollars in a way that backfills local and state responsibilities. So the requirement would be for districts to ensure that they're not doing that the state and local funds are allocated in a reasonable fashion that allows the federal dollars to be used to indeed supplement. And to the extent that a district is spending 25 to 30% more in a school serving affluent kids than in a school serving high needs kids 10 blocks away, that can't possibly be consistent with the very words supplement, not supplant. And the adjustment they will need to make is one that is required by the statute.
Well, if school districts are forced to change teacher hiring policies and somehow find the legal and contractual authority to do so in order to comply with the proposal, school districts, rather than school principals, will assume more authority for personnel hiring decisions in local schools. Tell us how this would benefit low-income students when we know that effective principals with greater staffing autonomy can be one of the most effective ways to increase student outcomes.
If today districts are using the federal dollars in a way that is not supplemental, and they need to correct that, they could do that in a number of ways. They could create incentives for veteran, highly effective teachers to go to schools. They could invest in pre-K programs in a high-needs school. They could ensure that that high-needs school has access to counselors or launches advanced coursework. The reassignment of teachers is not a requirement of the proposal. As a general matter, I don't think anyone supports forced transfers of teachers. That's not required by the proposal. What the proposal requires is that the federal dollars are used in a way that is, in fact, supplemental.
Gentlelady's time has expired.